welcome. You have reached review time with Emperiol. Today's review will be P-Valley Season 1, Episode 2, titled Scars. Let's get into it. Now, from my review of last week, a few people commented, a couple people commented in my review of the first episode. One was basically, I said that the setting of it was like in like Louisiana, Katrina, and then they migrated to Texas. So this was based off of shout out to the person who commented and corrected me. I didn't really know the exact setting, and I think I said that in the last review. But the exact setting was when the hurricane and all that went down in Texas. That was the setting, and then Autumn Night migrated to Mississippi. So I was saying the Katrina and it migrated to Texas, but it started from Texas and she migrated to Mississippi. So the whole setting of P-Valley is basically in Mississippi. So this episode 2 picks up right off of episode 1. You got Uncle Clifford, who is $55,000 in debt on the land property. Doesn't know how he's going to get that paid. And you got Mercedes, who is still planning her out, and she plans to open up like a gym facility for the step team that she runs. You got Autumn Night, who's still finding her way into the P-Valley nightclub night scene, and that's the basis of the episode. Then you throw in the mayor appears in this episode. So P-Valley nightclub decided to throw a car wash and help promote the business, help get new customers and stuff like that. And so the mayor shows up in his Escalade, and Uncle Clifford had Mercedes and Autumn Night to come and clean his car. And in the process of cleaning the inside, they ran out of the stuff to clean the inside with, like Armor All type stuff. And so Mercedes went out to get it, and then she closed the door. In the process of closing the door, the people outside of the car started to fill the car up with suds and everything like that. And Autumn Night had PTSD, and she had a flashback of, I guess, when at one point in time her car went under the water or something like that. So it was a trigger, and she started to panic, and she couldn't get out of the car door. So she interpreted that as Mercedes locked her in, and then she found a way to open the sun visor, and she climbed out the top of the sun rooftop, and then she made a big thing, and they was just trying to tell her like, yo, the child lock was on. So Mercedes didn't child lock you in. So Clifford told Mercedes to drop her off home. So in the process of dropping her off home, Mercedes, wanted to walk her up and basically be nosy and come in to see what's her living quarters. Mercedes got to see that she had newspaper on the windows, and Autumn was standoffish, and she pretty much closed the door in Mercedes' face. So those two been like rivalry the whole time, and you're gonna see how that brews. I think it's gonna eventually brew to them being close, but it's a lot of rivalry right now because Mercedes on her way up. She is the queen of the nightclub, but then you got Autumn, who's making an impact in a short period of time. Meanwhile, Uncle Clifford is still harping Autumn to get her ID and everything. So Autumn calls. She got all these IDs, and she calls a company to find out which name basically she could use. And then she found a name that she could use. It was Uncle Clifford, even though it's a um, strip club. He tried it. I guess he's trying to run a respectable business with taxes and all that. So he needs all the women on file. And so you instantly get to see when the episode starts there's a boom boom room that's like a VIP extra from the VIP room. So you got the VIP room that's exclusive, for certain people for the dances. But then you got a boom boom room that's off from the VIP room. And you come in, you instantly see a character by the name of Corbin Kyle, who is in his room. They got him strapped up. He got a whip, Mercedes, and the other girl is in there, and they got him strapped up and pretty much fulfilling his fantasies. And so he's a regular in there. And so you see Autumn wants to be part of that. And they pretty much, telling her, like, fall back. So you see Andre, who Autumn met in a parking lot where he was taking pictures. Now, Andre is, you get to see what business he is in. And Corbin, that you find out, is what people would say the illegitimate son of, he's in a mixed relation. So his father passed away but left him in the will. His mother was the maid of the father. So they never really acknowledged him growing up. He was like the black sheep because he wasn't from the other family's mother. Not just that, his mother's black, their mother's white, so he never got the respect. But when the will was left, he gained the finances and the luxuries of the dad left them part ownership of everything. So the other two brothers want to sell this land and property so that a casino could come in, but they need his signature to sign off, and they can't do it without him. So Andres is trying to make the deal happen. He tells them, "Hey, let me go talk to him." And they say, "Well, he won't be. He ain't far to find." And they point to P Valley. Basically, you can find him there. And since his father passed away, he got these finances. He's been a regular at P Valley, spending up money left and right. So in his mind, he's thinking, they owe me. So this is reparations. So Andre sees him in the club, and they're having their conversation, and they're just discussing. He's like, "I'm not signing over nothing, because if you sign over the property right now, then you're just going to get one lump sum right now. But if they trying to bring in casino, we can lease the property to them. That way we can keep making money for years to come." Corbin is thinking about, okay, I got to get this short period of money right now. That money could blow over, but I'm trying to build generational wealth. So that's how Corbin mind frame is. He's trying to tell Andre, "Listen, I take care of you too in the process. Like, they ain't really never liked me, so I'm not really." Basically, he not willing to play ball with them or whatever. So meanwhile, Andre is there with Autumn. Comes in and pretty much she says Andre's name. Mercedes tried to come in and step on Autumn's toes, but Andre pretty much was like, "Nah, I want light." So because Mercedes asked him, "Do you want cognac, brown liquor, or you want light?" And he said, "I want light." So Mercedes left, but Mercedes was hating on Autumn because Andre ended up giving her $1,000 that Corbin gave to him for a dance, and Andre didn't want the dance. But you got to see Andre when Autumn was dancing on. She had a scar, And then Andre had a scar too, where he said he was born with his heart out of his chest, and then he had surgery to put his heart back underneath his chest or whatever. And so that that was a little bonding time between them or whatever. So you also get to see all those living conditions as well. She's drinking at home, and so when she goes and gives the cut, to Uncle Clifford, you see that she did it in front of all the girls, and the girls kind of like, jealous or whatever. And then Uncle Clifford like had a one-on-one with her, like, yo, don't do that in front of the girls or whatever. And then, they had a back and forth. Uncle Clifford basically said, don't you know, owe me an ID. She brought up the fake ID. Uncle Clifford said, pretty much this is bogus. And so all of them started to talk about the discussion she overheard between Corbin and Andre. And basically, Andre's a lawyer, and he and Corbin is discussing about a casino that's coming in that area. And so, of course, Uncle Clifford, mind frame, is thinking this is a way I could get in and get my debt paid. So from here, she pretty much Uncle Clifford tells all of them, like, yo, you need to get closer to him and get me more information. And if you don't, I'm going to pretty much tell the sheriff, hey, she's using fraud, got a fraud name and everything like that. So it's going to be some friction there or whatever. And so you see that's what's going on with that scenario. I think I covered every main basis. The other scenario was Little Murder. He reappears. He stayed trying to make music to get his music played in the club. But the music he's making, he's a decent artist, but it's not really the exotic dancer type music that they want to listen to. So his old episode, he's popping up in Uncle Clifford's car and everything, basically telling him, yo, you need to play my stuff or whatever. And he pops up one of the times in the club basically saying, you need to change some things around the club. And so if you could critique me on my music, I could critique you on your club. So he basically telling them that the wings that they had, were giving people a lot of gas. And then he said one of his homies was dead, getting a dance, and one of the girls farted on him. Oh man, that was pretty funny with that part right there. And then Uncle Clifford looked like such, she was pissed off of that, but he was like, yo, you got to make your wings with a different season so it's not giving people gas. And they was like, everybody's into the whole hookah thing, like get hookah stuff and that bring people around, and with the marijuana and stuff like that. So, pretty much helping each other to, rise for success. But this was a decent episode. They're on to something with this, especially at a time like now. It's nothing really to watch out here in the summer, so perfect time to put this out there. Everybody be tuned in. And then it's a decent show. And that's episode 2. Subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. If I missed something, comment on it. Other than that, that's what I took from it. Till next time.